Okay, those edges selected. And then I'm going to throw on a chamfer. Dial it back a bit. And we'll do 4 sections. Should be all right. Let's just soften that hard edge. Just want to do the same thing on the opposite side. Okay. Select this one. I'm going to collapse all. And we will select one edge. We'll do a ring, do a loop. Just double check to make sure we haven't got anything selected that shouldn't be. No, that looks alright. We again throw another chamfer on. Dial it back. 2, 4. And smooth it out. And like I said, that just helps them to make it look like it's been more worn. So never have a really sharp edge on anything, and again, unless it's an industrial object or a man-made object, you should. And even a man-made object like this will weather. So if it's outside, particularly, make sure you smooth off those hard edges. Let's collapse all here. Now, I think I might do the so I'm not going to probably not, or never say never, but probably not going to paint over this texture because I already did dirty it up in Photoshop for a previous project. So, or I may just throw some dirt around the edges here, but I won't do that right now. I might work on this piece here, I think. Just going to isolate that. I want to see what's going on here. Okay. I see. Okay. Let's throw an unwrap on that quickly. I want to view that in the viewport. Right. Just going to scale that down. And needs to come down just a little bit more. Right. Alright, so we'll exit isolation. And I'm just going to collapse that stack. I'm going to convert that to a poly because it's always better to work in poly mode as opposed to mesh mode. You just have a lot more options available to you in the panel over here in Start with 3D Studio Max if you're using a poly, edit poly as opposed to edit mesh. So always work in edit poly. I'm going to select that and select the top. And I'm going to detach that. I'm going to call it center rotunda top. Alright. So now we have two separate objects here, and that's because I want to texture the second piece separately to the top piece. So we will go back into the material editor. I'm just going to move this this shader over to the side here. Okay, so now we want a standard material, new bitmap. That one might have been alright as well. Anyway, we'll come back to that. Now we're looking for a new texture. Let's see now. Just going to pick this for the moment, even though it's probably not what I'm going to use. I just want to get the mapping on the outside of that cylinder done first. Show shaded in show realistic. I'm just going to assign that material to the selection. Now we're going to do a UVW map, cylindrical. We don't need to cap it because it doesn't have a top. That top is a separate object. That's why I chose that texture, just to give me a better indication of what tiling size I need for the outside of that. So now that we know, we can go back into the material editor and choose another material, another texture. Okay. we're going to take the side texture here into Mari and paint some dirt over it, I think. So, to do that, we're going to do an unwrap UVW into map channel 2 again, and move them across. Alright, we will open the UV editor. We're going to select all and go mapping, flatten mapping. Alright. Now we're going to go render to texture. Again, that problem with Max, so just move it like that. Use existing channel 2. We're going to add a diffuse map. We'll do this one at 2048, should be plenty. Actually, yeah, we'll see what 2048 looks like. If we have to up the resolution, we will. We're going to save it out into our stairs folder. We're going to call this one center outer edge .tga. 24-bit is fine. Okay, map channel 2, diffuse map. Render that out. That's actually the bottom of the cylinder, and that's never seen because it's inside the model. So I think what we might do is let's close down the render to texture. Just going to isolate that for a minute. And I may get rid of that unwrap we just put on there. I'm going to collapse all, yes, to an edit poly. And I'm going to select that and I'm going to delete it. That'll just give us more texture space to work for what we actually want to see, as opposed to something that's hidden inside of the model and will never be seen. So let's exit isolation mode. And again, we're just going to throw on an unwrap UVW into map channel 2, move them across, open the UV editor, do a flatten mapping. Okay. Now we're going to go to render to texture. Again, Max is doing this funky thing with its UI. Use existing channel 2, diffuse map name, center outer edge. It's remembered everything we said on it from the last time, so everything should be fine. We'll just hit render. Yes, I want to overwrite the old file. And that's just given us some, pardon me, given us more texture room to work on. So, okay, I'm just going to do a quick save here. All right, now let's go into the channel info. We're going to copy UV channel 2 into UV channel 1, and we're going to clear UV channel 2. Now we'll go into the material editor. We're going to set a standard material, load in a bitmap. We want to go to our stairs folder, and we want center outer edge.tga. That's the one we just rendered to texture. Pipe that into the diffuse channel. Show shaded, show realistic, and assign material to selection. Now we're back to the way we were. Now we can go File, Export, Export Selected. We're calling this one, we'll call this one Center Outer Edge.obj. Export, done. And we're going to rename it in max so we don't get confused. And we're calling it Center Outer, I can spell, Edge. Okay. And again, I'm just going to do a quick save before I take it into Mari. Again, if there's anything you're not clear on, guys, just ask me in the chat and I'm more than happy to help. Okay, let's go into Mari and create a new project. Yes, I do want to save. So I may come back to that in a short while or a little bit later in the week, next week, to do a bit more work on it. We'll see how we go. Alright, we're calling this one Center Outer Edge. We're going to load up the model we just exported from our stairs folder called Center Outer Edge. I'm going to use my temp directory as my cache. We want to create a 2K map and go OK. All right. Turn flat shading on. Again, I don't have to worry about turning masking back on because we're only working on one side of this object. So, but what I am going to do is go import into layer stack the texture that we just rendered out. So F drive, stairs, and it's center outer edge.tga. Alright, I'm just going to save that. We're going to create a new layer. We're going to import some texture maps. Open. Alright, and I'm just going to grab a couple more. This is aged and stressed, so from the dirt and graffiti folder. Open. Right. So now we want let's look at this one. Just trying to find where to put my texture. Alright, there it is. So let's pull that in. I'm going to rotate it around. I'm going to zoom in a bit on the model. Line it up just a little bit more like that. Okay, we're going to pull that up a bit. We're on a new layer. I'm just going to start painting that in. Press the Alt button to bake it down. I'm just going to start rotating my way around the model. Okay, place you there. Paint that on, bake that down, rotate around. Rotate you a little bit more. Bake that down. Rotate you. Bake that down. Okay. Rotate you. Take that down. Rotate. And bake that down. I'm just going to move that out of the way for a minute. Okay, I might throw an adjustment stack of invert on that. Just remove that invert. I might put that invert back on again. We'll see how we go. No, I may need to turn it back off again. Yeah, I want to remove that. Let's see now. I'll pull that down, add a new layer. And pull it right down. Okay, we're working on a new layer. Paint that in. Scale it up a bit. Okay, paint it in. I'm just going to move that out of the way for a second. And this one I might throw an invert on. soft light. Hard mix, no difference. No. Let me remove that invert again. Pull this back. No, I don't really like that, so I think what I'll do is remove this layer. Add a new layer again. Turn that off. Make sure that's quite dark. Let's move it out of the way for a minute. Okay, darken, flip back. Like an overlay is probably better. Alright, bake that down. And I'm just going to continue around the outside here. Rotate that up a bit. Paint that in. Just going to switch to my tablet. Bake that down. Rotate it around. Okay, paint that in. Bake it down. Just going to go over that a little bit there. Okay, bake that down. Bake that down. Bake that down. And back that down. I'm just painting just some general grime on the bottom of this outer ring. So break it down. Just again, it just breaks up that texture and makes it look not quite so pristine and clean. Rotate that around. And what I'm looking at here is the dark section, not the white. So not the white part, but the black part that's at the base. That's the bit that I'm painting in. It's ignoring the white, using it like an alpha, and just painting in the dark area. Take that down. Rotate you around a bit. Pull you in. Like that. And some parts I'm going over darker than others, so bake that down. Okay, rotate you around. Up. Move it down, rotate you around. Bake it down. Almost there. Take it down. Just going to move that in a bit. Get rid of that line. You'll notice I'm angling this up so the back section, it has a bit of a gap between them. That way if I accidentally paint up here, I won't be painting on the other side. Break that down. Join these ones up. Break that down. Move that out. Just going to save that there. Okay, so now I'm going to go export flattened, export everything flattened. Stairs folder. And we're calling this center outer edge painted .tga. Export all patches. Okay. Go back into Max. Back into the material editor. And here we're looking for center outer edge painted. Okay. Like that. Deselect that. Save that. I may whiten up the top tiles a little more, these tiles up here. Instead of them being a yellow, I may bring it back to more a bit more white with green. And we still have to paint the this texture on the outside of the raised terrace part, so we might do that tomorrow, I think. And also the stairs here, so I think tomorrow we'll work on painting up the outside here, the outside of the terrace here, to match what we did for the sides of the stairwell. Anyway, guys, actually not tomorrow. I will be back again Monday next week. I stream from 5 p.m. Pacific time in the US, 11 a.m. in Australia, and 12 a.m. in the UK. But I'll be back on again next week on Monday. I hope you guys enjoyed the stream, and I will hopefully see you next week.